Hello everybody and welcome back to another career mode episode. Today's will feature the semi-finals of the Champions League when we take on one of the best performing sides in the history of the Champions League in the form of Real Madrid. But that is still to come because at the beginning of today's episode we had a job to do, and that job was to secure ourselves the Bundesliga title, which we were so close to doing. We nearly did it last episode against Bayern Munich, but unfortunately results elsewhere stopped us from having a party in the last episode, which meant we had to wait until this one, where we would face Cologne first. And victory in this game would do it. If we won here, no matter the results elsewhere, we would be league champions. We haven't quite got that unbeaten season we were hoping for, but we could still wrap it up with the Bundesliga title here. But it was them with the first chance, a really good cross, and the header going close. And then it was over to us. Richarlison to Han, and I thought he scored. I was already celebrating, but unfortunately the keeper made a very good save. Horn is a quality goalkeeper, so you expect him to make saves along those sort of lines. But the game was fairly even up until this point, so I felt we had to grab the goal here. Elmer Barrett's corner turned in by Capradossi, and he goes on to give us the lead. And we spoke about him last time out. Every time we get a corner, it is as lethal as having a free kick, especially when you got this big man in your penalty area. Capradossi rises highest at that near post and wins the header that gives us the lead. But it was still Cologne with chances in the game. They put a corner in, a cross in here, and we don't clear our lines very well at all. The ball bounces in our box, and it's turned in by Mikel, and it was one apiece before we went into half-time. I was disappointed in Frank Brown, though, as I felt he possibly could have done a little better with that shot. And then we go into the second half, last 6 minutes of the game, where Werner breaks through, thinking surely going to be 2-1. Nope, Horn pulls off another save. So again, we're made to wait as we were into the last few here. Richarlison goes close, but his shot is wide of the corner, and it meant it was one apiece. And at full time, I didn't know if we'd done it, but I judged by the celebration of the fans that we had in fact won the Bundesliga title, and the players also celebrating gave that confirmation to us. But something really weird happened here because I was looking to go through and obviously lift the trophy. And as we go on to this point, I can't remember myself skipping it. But it also didn't show me a trophy presentation, so I don't know what happened with this one. I didn't skip it, and it didn't actually show me it, so I was thinking maybe it'll show us on the final day of the season. So here then is that news confirmation of the Schalke Bundesliga victory. And there is the trophy, of course, sat alongside us. And that, my friends, is going to be the end for today's postcom part, because we now have the double leg header of the Real Madrid game in the semi-final of the Champions League as we sim through a couple more Bundesliga games till the end of the season. Without further ado, let's jump into this. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. Sit back, relax, and I'll see you all in a couple of seconds. Just a one more tie until we reach that final of the Champions League. But in our way stands one of the best sides in the competition's history, that being Real Madrid, and we have to beat them over the course of the next two legs in order to book our place in the final. Can we do it? Find out here today as we go into our first game against them away at the Santiago Bernabeu, and it's probably going to be our final season here with Schalke. I'll go on to that at a later stage, but we will see what happens until then. And Babu, it looks like, is actually Babu starting for Real Madrid. He was, of course, with us at Inter. There's so many of our former players playing in this competition, as you would expect, with it being that we took Brighton all the way to a final, winning it. We took Inter all the way to the final, winning that. And now we're here in our first season with Schalke, and we have a shot at it again. And let's do it. I mean, we don't need to sit through all of that side of things, but I have seen a really good setup for Real Madrid as we are underway then at the Santiago Bernabeu. Memphis Depay kicks us off, and we have 90 minutes here in Spain before we travel back to Germany for the second leg of this one. And away goals, speak about them all the time. I'm not going to say it again, but you guys know what I expect from the team, and we'll see if we can grab one or two tonight as we already look to go down the left-hand side with Grimaldo. Grimaldo's cross towards an Mark Verni's come all the way through instead to Gordson. He has an overhead kick in the edge of the area. It hasn't worked out, and it's the first shot of the game for us. Nowhere near what I was hoping. Maybe Gordson could have left that because Werner possibly was in a better position. Not sure about it, but yeah, if he had have done, I think Werner probably would have at least got it on target. This is dangerous, and they've scored already. 8 minutes in. Oh, for crying out loud. Start sorting this out, please, guys. We are absolutely horrific from crosses. I dropped Frank Brown because in game one I felt he should have saved the goal that we conceded against Cologne. We bring in Mere and he's gone through his legs. Both goalkeepers at the minute for us, I know I'm very harsh on them, but even so, I mean, Fernandez gets the touch here. It's not even through his leg, it's gone right of him. I don't know what he's doing to try and save it. He comes out like he's ready. He's not even looking at where that ball's going. Oh, that's poor. That is really poor. And Real Madrid have the lead inside 9 minutes. Again, I go back to the point we make. We need an away goal, no more so than now. What a horrific start. I'm not going to lie, I don't feel like I'm playing very well either. So, yeah, I don't really know what to do to get back in this game at the moment. Real Madrid asking questions for a second here on the edge of our area. And if Rafael Varane scores it, it's over. Murray will save. But it's a bit concerning that Rafa Varane there is able to just win the ball in the air with relative ease. Richarlison now out towards Gordson. Do not blow your whistle yet, ref. We are on the attack as we head into half-time. If Gordson can pull us back here, it will be a decent half-time. Gordson's effort. Richarlison ran past the ball. Of course he did. I went through this last episode. Why can they not adapt to the situation? When that ball comes back out, Richarlison should look at it and go, the ball's going behind me, I need to turn. But he continues running forward. Half-time whistle goes. I mean, match facts again. 6 shots, only 2 on target. That's not good enough from us at all. And if we don't get an away goal here and we end up going 1-0, down back to Germany, you can pretty much say the massive advantage is with Real Madrid because they won't have to score. And even if we do, if they get an away goal, it makes this tie incredibly difficult. Please get a goal back in the second half, guys. Ousmane Dembele trying to make that happen. In the 50th minute now we are. Weston McKennie's ball through to Gordson. Miskicks it, but he's bounced back, and that is the luck we needed. I'll graciously accept that from Courtois. Thank goodness that he couldn't make a good enough save. And Noah Gordson puts us back on level terms, and I breathe a sigh of relief alongside it as well because I genuinely feared we were not going to get this goal. It's a massive miss-hit for the first shot from Gordson. Doesn't catch the strike right at all. Courtois saves it, but the ball bounces straight back into the path of the American, and he just taps it home. Real 1, Schalke 1. And relief is the word I'm going to use here. Thank goodness for that. Here is Richarlison. Can we now kick on and find another one? As Gordson found. Dembele on the inside. We've got Werner making a run through the middle as well. Werner's found as well. And Werner will finish into the top corner. And in the space of literal minutes, Schalke have turned the game on its head. Get in. And when we are playing well, and this team is doing what we want it to do, we are a force to be reckoned with. But towards the back end of this season, we have not found that form. And we've been lackluster, to describe it. As the ball played through from Dembele, not sure what Courtois is doing there. He comes out, but he doesn't really give us the tightest of angle. You can see he's somewhat over to one side of the goal. And that's an easy finish for Werner, who sets us in front now. And that is our second away goal as well. Get in. Again, you can tell by my tone of my voice, just relief more than anything, because this now means that we can go back to Germany if the score remains the same, feeling pretty confident. Weston McKennie going to steal back that ball, and the Thunder looks like it's been knocked out of Real Madrid's wind a little bit here, as they're forced to put it into touch. Marino, Richarlison, Gordson, a little bit behind him, but Noah Gordson still makes it work, as that ball's played towards Dembele. Across it goes to Werner, and it's not even Werner, it's Richarlison, sorry. I just assumed it was Werner. I didn't even look who was at the back post, because I thought, with it starting on the other part of that, I thought Werner was the man making the run to the back stick. I didn't even look up. And it was actually Richarlison. So the ball sent towards him, and it's found its way through. I don't know if we deserve to be 3-1 up, but I'm very glad we are. So unlucky for Mbabu. I feel bad for him, because obviously he was a great servant for us when we played at Inter. And it's him and Courtois who, it's actually not even Mbabu who gets the touch on it. It's him and Courtois between the two of them who'll deal with it, but it's not enough. And just like that, 3 goals in 10 minutes as Schalke turn it on, and we go 3-1 up. Get in. McKennie. Danilo to Werner. Werner, we're 2 minutes over. We're allotted the time slot as McKennie's going to shoot, and Courtois saves it, and that ends off the game. Schalke 3, Real Madrid 1. In the end, a very good win for Schalke. Although it looked very, very scary when they took the lead after 9 minutes. Not going to lie to you guys. That did worry me. And I just feel like, against Cologne as well in the first game, we weren't that great either. So again, it's finding that form that we need to get in order to push ourselves on. But I look at those match facts at the end of it. It's a bit ridiculous if you ask me. The way we then went on and kicked on and dominated. We had 6 shots, 2 on target at half-time or something like that. So we had 5 shots on goal in that second half. And we completely turned it around, didn't we? 3 goals in the second half as well. So, yeah, happy with that. Alright, so we're not really going to be playing the rest of these games out in the Bundesliga simply because we've won the title. We can't go unbeaten, and I don't think we'll get to watch it. But I do know we've got a game Israel in 4 days, is that? So I need to name a weaker team for this sim right here so we don't have any injuries or anything like that. I mean, that's going to be fine. We'll just go with that. So yeah, we've got to think about that game. 3-1 up. What do we do? Do we go back to that and look to just stop them scoring? That could be one thing we do. You always run the risk, though, if you then set up too defensive, that you invite the pressure on. Remember what happened against Inter? We've scraped through in that one. And it was an incredibly close game. You know, Rafinha also hit the crossbar during it as well, which really did scare me for a second, as we do go on to win 2-0 against Freiburg. So I think for the most part, we're going to set up the same way we have done for all the rest of the ties. The only problem with that is that they're going to get to kind of be used to the tactics we're using. Nevertheless, though, we are 90 minutes away from a Champions League final in our first season with Schalke. We didn't go unbeaten in the league. That was the main ambition for this season. And I said to you guys I was sorry for that because I kind of let you guys down in the way I played, giving the goal away to Dortmund. And we weren't good enough then. I can't let you guys down again by missing a Champions League final when we are on the verge of it after leading 3-1 after the first leg. I really have to bring this one home. So we will go with our full strength lineup and we will go in confidence, hopefully, to bring this one back and play in another Champions League final for you all. Without further ado, 90 minutes coming your way. Maybe extra time should we need it. Potentially penalties. But this is probably the second biggest game we're going to play then in the run-up to this one. Well, probably the biggest for now. But if we do get through to that Champions League final, that will become the biggest in that one. Home leg against Real Madrid. Let's get it. And here we go then. Big 90 minutes this. 3-1 up. First half was poor in the Santiago Bernabeu. We need to get going from the offset here. Can't allow Real Madrid to have their say early doors. There's a ball over the top to El Mubarak. Out comes Courtois. That was always going to be adventurous from Dembele, wasn't it? Trying to chip in from all the way there. But yeah, we can't let them score inside 9 minutes because that'll give them confidence. We have to defend better than we did at the beginning of that last game. Dembele, what a ball from Ousmane Dembele. Sensational ball. El Mubarak in behind and Courtois will save it. Bounces out to Richarlison, whose shot goes out for a throw-in. Not even a goal kick, a throw-in. Holy. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We had a chance there to bring this one home, and we survived the first 20 minutes without allowing Real Madrid too much. So far, so good. If we can catch them on the counter like that, I'll feel quietly confident about things. El Mubarak, though, shot well saved by Courtois. Marco Asensio now trying to, again, get down this side and put a cross in. He might be able to do that as Alexander Arnold can't defend it, but Arana Lopez is there with the head. And now it's Werner pinging one over the top for Dembele. Dembele drives into the area. Still Dembele. Across it goes towards Richarlison. And it's Schalke. One in front of the Veltins Arena. Really nicely worked down the right-hand side. It's that over-the-top ball again that's caught Real Madrid out. And it makes it 4-1 on aggregate. And surely will send us through to a final of the Champions League. Get in. Needed that for the bit of confidence just to calm the nerves slightly. And it's not well defended by Real Madrid, who were caught out by the over-the-top ball. But you have to say as well, if they weren't 3-1 down after the first leg, they wouldn't have to go forward. They wouldn't rely just on a back four against our front three. That's the issue here. They're committing men forward and getting caught by the over-the-top ball because of the fact that they've only got their back four between us and the line, as Werner lets that ball run for some bizarre reason. As they try and over-the-top baller themselves here. Asensio will reach it. But there's big Capradossi as we almost put ourselves into danger. Wow, that was close. Dembele flicks on over towards the head of El Mubarak, and he can't win it. But it's, again, Schalke getting close. Here is Dembele. Still, McKennie. Now Marino. Marino to Werner. Werner gets the ball under control. Werner gets a turn as well, and Werner hits the post. So close. The ball now in Real Madrid's court. They have to make a play in this second half. 4-1 aggregate. But if they can get it back to 3-1... it will take this game to extra time, so remember that. They definitely need to try something in the second half that's going to help them out, because for right now, our game plan has worked. So as you can see, we're just sat. I've switched it to a defensive formation, and we're sat with players behind the ball to allow a little bit of pressure on us, but most part, keep them out. That's the thing. Everybody back behind the ball now for us in this second half, because we don't need to attack, because that might be a chance! And a goal from Palacios! The ball in Real Madrid's court, and they fired back with one. It's one apiece here. It's 4-2 on aggregate, and there's still 40 minutes to play. And what a finish from Palacios. No chance at all for Meret. Or Meret, however you want to say. I apologise. I should have looked at that before we kicked off. But my mind was completely focused on this game. And what a finish from Palacios. Not completely in the corner. It's just the pace that beats our goalkeeper. Game on, I guess. There's still 2 more needed, though, for Real Madrid. And maybe me changing this to the defensive side has not worked out because I've invited pressure. And now they've got to go back. Weston McKennie, though, looks to get us on the front foot straight away as Varane will put it into touch. Richarlison towards Dembele. Does very well, actually, and we'll put the cross in. El Mubarak heads it back across towards Richarlison! And that should have been it! What a move! And what? No, Richarlison has to score. Dembele. Werner. No, doesn't find it, but it's gone back to Dembele. And there is the full-time whistle. Get in! Champions League final awaits. Come on! Schalke will play in it. In what could be our final Champions League final of the series. Final of the final series. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just so glad I haven't let you guys down by not getting there. I was gutted when we lost our unbeaten run. Seriously. And to get through in a game that really didn't have a lot going for it. You can see again, 2 shots yet again for Real Madrid. Only 4 shots managed over the course of the 2 legs. And yet they scored half of those. Really good finishing from them. But it's not enough. A 4-2 win will see us through. And we face off Manchester City. Wow, that's going to be a tough game, isn't it? Man City in the final. They beat Spurs 3-2 over the course of 2 legs as well. Ridiculous to see. And we will head into that probably as favourites. But I don't know at this stage. I'm just so glad to get there. That is an understatement and a half. Because, yeah, when we went 1-0 down in that earlier game against Real Madrid, I genuinely feared. I was like, I don't know what's going to happen now. We could pack it in and crumble. Or we could go and get this next game up and running, you know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sim this game against Mönchengladbach. We're going to then play the final game of the season in the Bundesliga to warm us up for that Champions League final, which will be next episode as its own individual one. I think I'll play the final game of the season off camera as we win 3-1. Goals from Dembele and Werner. And then we'll jump into that live final for you all in what could be the final game of the series, depending on what you guys say. I don't know at this stage, though. But at least it's good to say we are in a Champions League final. We've done it with Brighton. We've done it with Inter. Can we do it with Schalke? That's the question. But ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the end for today's episode. Thank you all so much for your support on the channel. Really appreciate that as well. Stay tuned for a lot more we have coming. FIFA is still with us. We are still in FIFA 19, of course. Can't wait as well to see what changes they've got planned for FIFA 20 in career mode. Because I know after all the backlash they had at the beginning of this FIFA, I'm expecting big things to come for next year. And if not, I guess we'll just see, really. But if you're new around here, like we see, hit that subscribe button down below. We upload every single day at 4 PM UK time and try and upload twice a day every day as well, if we can. We have got a double upload for you on this day. We've got this first, the My Player, coming up at 6 PM tonight as well, so make sure you stay tuned for that. That is how the league table has looked. And, of course, we end off the Bundesliga season next time out with that Champions League final against Manchester City, and we'll talk more about the future of the series in that episode. But for now, guys, I'll see you all for it in the next couple of days. Potentially tomorrow. We'll see how the videos pan out and such. Until then, though, have a great day, and I'll catch you again soon. Adios!